Hey, what's happening, everybody? This is Midnight Brands coming to you with prep on Tuesday, March 21st, 2023. As always, you know the drill. We are not financial analysts, advisors, or anything of the sort. Do your own due diligence. Nothing we say or do should be construed as a buy or sell recommendation of any sort. So go do your own work. This is for informational educational purposes. Hopefully, share some thoughts, ideas, but again, not by any means at all buy or sell recommendations. Going to go ahead and get started here this morning. Just need to do one more quick thing and we'll get started. You want to dance to the Bee Gees, Caesar. You have fun with that.
Morning, good morning.
Good morning. How's it going?
Oh, it's another beautiful morning, man. I'm over here bumping already. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh, yeah. So you know what the Bee Gees are, but half the movies that are of any kind of remote popularity, nada.
No, no. You know. How are you, my friend?
Doing all right. Doing all right. Nice little pop overnight. Got none of, which is good and bad. But doing all right.
That's good. That's good. You need to do better. You know, you should try dancing a little bit to the Bee Gees there.
Yes.
Raise your mood.
I don't dance. Sorry.
I mean, I'm sure you tap your foot every once in a while when you listen to a song. You know, bop your head. You know, that's a kind of dancing, I would say.
That's not dancing. That's no.
I mean, I, I don't know, man. Maybe, could be.
No. Nope. Don't think so. Not at all. Let me pull up one other screen here that I just realized is not open. Now I can't find it. What the heck? There it is. Am I missing a bar on SVXY? No? I guess we're not missing a bar. Okay. Sorry, I thought I was missing a bar on the daily. But we're not. We hit that and stuck with that trend line again yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And the 30-week SMA. Interesting. Didn't notice that earlier. Okay, well, my favorite friends at Ninja, which is really Kinetic, if still not clicked a little button in their back end to give me VIX and SPX and all the other fun stuff. So, still no VIX, just SVXY. I don't know what makes it so hard for them to do that. Like,
Called the button clicking, man. It's extraneous, whatever.
that's something. Hey, I'm going to pull this over here just to glance at because I haven't looked at it yet this morning. Because I was looking last night and trying to, as you were asking the question, talking about stuff like, are we going to keep going? Are we going to pull? Like, everybody is still, like, it's just this really, I don't remember seeing this before where NQ is really popping and moving. ES has been lagging, which is fine, but like RTY is and Fins have just been, they're at a huge kind of buy side. I just remember seeing like this ES is in the middle of nowhere on its buy side, sell side stuff. NQ is getting up into its sell sides, and RTY is on its buy sides. Like I don't remember seeing that.
Right.
And of course, gold's off doing its own little thing there too.
I mean, so NQ kind of stalled off.
Yeah, it did.
Today is stronger today.
Yeah, that's very true.
It's probably one of the fins.
Well, if I look on the board piece there, right, so Amazon's already up near its first kind of sell side up with TGR was just disappeared, but then you also have Semi Sox L is way up there, so it's. Or are you talking about ES pushing it?
No, yeah, I'm talking because you see, NQ is goes.
Energy and Fins are helping to push ES. And then you can see XLC is up there too quite a bit. So Meta is doing its little dance again. It's already up $5 from yesterday's close. So I wouldn't mind if Google did the same thing. Hey, okay. I just wanted to glance at that real quick.
There's a nice. We'll get to it when we get to it, but there's a nice rising wedge on ES, but like on the RTH pieces. I'll show it to you later when we get to that.
Cool. So SVXY, this was going to start from the top down. I added a mark for quarterly trend guide reversal, gap fill, and the tier 2 daily cheat. We're gapping up a little over $1, so that's going to move the full ADRs anyways. We still have it marked because there is still kind of a look set up there. So even though it won't be full ADRs when we open, that still to me is kind of a div look area with 2050, and then we've got weekly anchor VWAPs there. So it's kind of an important zone in my mind. Then under that you get your monthly trend guide, weekly trend guide with February's lows. And then it's just, there's a gap fill in between there. There's a falling daily anchored VWAP, which we're about to hit, but it's just really a lot of open space between there, the monthly trend guide stuff, and daily trend guide. And then you kind of run into two kind of supporting. You got a daily and a weekly anchored VWAP just right under that with trend strike further down below. And I almost debated about like even bothering with trend guide reversal there. It's just all by itself. There's just not a lot there on that one. It is kind of the double bottom between Friday's and yesterday's lows, but that still is even lower down where by that cheat is. And then again, if you fail all that, then you're going to go down and hit the annual pivot point, which is really all by itself. It's not going to be full ADRs. That's going to move up almost $1. And so I doubt that'll put that stuff in play here for today. Same thing with the monthly trend guide, quarterly pivot. And I don't think there was even a lot of econ here today. It's really just existing home sales. And then there's a treasury auction this afternoon of 20-year notes. But I think that's pretty straightforward on that one. Again, like I said, is holding that trend line from back in October lows. Dipped below a few times, but then it's been holding pretty much since. So I think that's it for SVXY. I'm gonna fix that in this next pass here. I don't like that. Yeah, like I said, could kind of call this a div area here. You get gap fill in the daily cheat. Okay, that's SVXY. Let's go ahead and pull up and look at SPY. Let me make sure I don't have this turned on and calculating, because that would really suck. No, we don't. Okay, cool. So SPY and a couple others kind of were messy to me, at least in my mind, with how we're gapping and moving around with stuff here. Given that we're gapping again, $2.50, $2, we're towards the top end of the zone here actually now. I did create a new one, or an additional zone up at the highs there at the annual pivot, monthly pivot, falling trend line. There's some structure historically at the 402.31, so it could act as some resistance there. And then just scrolling back out here real quick, see where that trend line's coming from. So back here, February highs is where that is, its origin. But yeah, some of these other ones are just, this div here was originally full ADRs with some structure and stuff in there at that 401-ish area. Actually, I take that back. This one here is the one that I had left in. The other one I got rid of, because it's got the weekly anchored VWAP and then structure right at that 400 spot. So you got that, and then right beneath, it's not going to be photo anymore, but it's going to be weekly trend guide, 50-day supply and demand. Yeah, the weekly anchored VWAP is down lower at the 20-day, kind of in this block here. And so that's where you got, if I get my mouse out of the way, that trend guide 20-day, there's this weekly anchored VWAP from back in December from the looks of it. Oh, I'm sorry, that's the monthly anchored VWAP from the highs. Take that back. Yeah, that's this guy here. Right there, sorry. from December's highs, February's highs. 397.87. That's what that is, not the other one. I am off this morning for sure then, from the looks of it.
Okay.
You can't see that.
Should have danced to some Bee Gees.
No. Yeah, I just don't like this. It's just freaking messy. You get trend strength with the 200, and then just right above it, you have another freaking zone. I guess really just don't care about this one at all.
TSRP zone?
No, just the little structure and whatever else there that was at the 394-ish area that I just took off. It was at the top edge of the supply and demand. And really watch more of this trend strength zone with the 200-day, and then just bring this up a little bit.
The way I'm looking at this one, just I guess I'm going with more of the type of way that we're opening. Like if we're gonna be opening above that TGR, that's gonna be my decision point, must hold zone.
Yeah.
And I mean, if we give that up, of course, I'm just gonna be following that. Like I'm not even gonna be. I don't think I want to care about trend strength reference point 200 day, because you're pretty much gonna give, if you give up that 20-day TGR. I mean, we might just go visit the.
Well, we're just a little bit above it though, too, right? Like we're not.
That's the thing, yeah. It's not like hugely separated above.
It's about $1, which
right.
it is not a ton. If it were up here at like weekly trend guide photo, I absolutely. That's where it's just, it's kind of torn on a bit.
Got you. Makes sense, yeah, because we're not that hugely separated from it, but I mean, so far, what we tagged. What's this?
I mean, we're closing the gap fill. At this rate, if we stay here, like we're gonna close this gap from, looks like the 16th.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess just given how we open, you might want to look into that. Just
yeah.
like, I'm not gonna lie, that 200-day IDPP, yeah, it's got some nice structure, and just back in February, you know, it was support like once, twice, 3 times.
Right.
So, I mean, I don't want to ignore it. But like, I'd probably expect a lot more separation from this.
Yeah, like I said, that's kind of where I'm torn a little bit on it. Is just kind of a. And then it's almost even 390. It's almost too, like you want this to, this weekly pivot one to be down lower, and this trend guide one to be more like this. I can move this up there, because that daily anchor VWAP is going to continue to move up a bit there. And then this is almost like just a little tiny div area. If it doesn't hold this weekly pivot, it'd be getting tested for the second time. So I'd really probably be more interested, although actually full ADR should move up to here. If we're gonna open $3 higher, full ADRs are gonna be up here. So that does give some more weight to that. Just feels like a setup too going into FOMC. I don't really care about it, but it just feels like it's a setup type of thing. Come out of the buy side, push up just enough to go into the other side, and then sell it back down. Put a couple of anchored VWAPs in here. Well, that would have been interesting, but it's no longer full ADRs. You make the case that it's from here to here. It's still the same thing. In fact, it's even lower. And you go from here. Then it puts it up weekly trend guide. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't like this guy here at all today. I think I'd leave it just as that though. Like I don't see much else in terms of adjustments to it really. It's just not the cleanest in my mind.
Sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
Not much we can do. Trying to figure out how did I get this trend line? I did it. I drew it earlier. It looked beautiful, and now I'm trying to replicate it. And it's like, what the hell did I do?
Well, you're smoking something or eating something before and you drew it, I think. Just a guess. You're watching too many of the BG things and getting too excited or something.
I mean, I guess you could draw like a channel, or yeah, you see, you can the bond you can draw like a channel, or I think I neglected that weight there. I just connected the other ones, something like that. I don't know, I did something. But it was nice.
Yeah, I'm not sure what you're connecting here.
Who knows, maybe I'm missing data.
Okay, I'm gonna move to Q's. Yes, yeah. Okay, this one was at least clearer to me. So Q is also gapping up, no surprise. Not quite $2, but it's up there. So the bigger zone up at the highs, quarterly trend guide 2, weekly trend guide reversal. Added a div level there with the structure at the 312, 311. You can see that on the daily. Zoom back out here. So you got this kind of 311 from back there, and then I'm not sure why there was two in there at this point. 311.83. Maybe we don't need that div. Let's just see. Yeah, that doesn't seem necessary because it doesn't even connect that wick. Could go there. That's pretty wide, and that's up at the other zone there anyways. So I'm actually going to get rid of this and just leave the horizontal ray there. Okay, there is though, however, a weekly anchored VWAP at that 310 zone along with the tier 1 sheet. It was photo ADR, but again, gapping up. We're not going to have photo, it's going to move up higher. And then under, nice little zone with daily trend guide, annual pivot, monthly trend guide, supply and demand low. And then we got structure there historically at that 308 level, which is kind of nice. And then just really air through, price over the last several days, or really just last couple of days, I should say. But there was more historically some price back in February there. So trend strength, swing AV watt from yesterday, kind of joining that trend strength zone. And then under you get your trend guide with another nice little swing AV watt from March 15th. And then really just air until you get to weekly pivot, monthly pivot. I guess you could say too, actually at the trend guide, you've got some of the structure back from early March in there. So it could be come back down, try to retest, and then break out there. There's not enough separation, I don't think, on that one. Yeah, it's not a 50% retrace, it's not even a 61. Maybe it's close to 61. But I'm not going to go check. So I think that's it really for the Qs. It was pretty simple in my mind there. If you lose that weekly pivot, monthly pivot, 20 daily anchor VWAP, like you're just pushing for hurt. You're going to go down and probably stop at the 50-day daily anchor VWAP stuff there. But I don't know, pretty clean to me in this one. And then that $7 or $8 up move would be kind of right at that quarterly trend guide, supply and demand as well. So would also continue pushing it up into the sell side, SE. That's right, and I combined that into one zone as opposed to treating it as two zones. So there's your cues. Type here on lower. Figure it out. Okay, that was cues. Let's take a look at ES. And what has it done since I looked at it a while ago?
Back to the high.
There we go. Yep, I kind of figured that was going to happen.
Gee, have you been seeing anything with the naked VAs?
Oh yeah, I
So
had
you continue investing that.
I had all kinds of stuff I documented and tracked on that over in the testing channel.
I know you. So you're using it actually now.
I've had it
I
on
see
my
it on your ES drive.
yeah, I've had it on my futures chart for ages. There's this thread here that tracked all of it for ages and ages. Looked like Penn was tracking it for a while as well. Here, if you want to go back and look. Hold on one second.
Yep.
Sorry, having to instruct a almost 16-year-old on how to use the Keurig to make dad coffee.
Nice.
Because the one in my office needs to be descaled, so the one in the kitchen is not, so okay,
Which one of them are you gonna hire to push buttons?
neither. This is boring, Dad. I don't like whatever. Learn this, you don't have to get a freaking job. Whatever, Dad. You don't know anything. Alright, so ES is pushing through. There's some bigger zones up at the highs there. Full ADRs keeps moving up. I mean, given that we had some 100+ days the other week, I mean, I don't know, full ADRs is way up there at that kind of 40-80-ish level. And photos is there right with what, annual pivot? Yeah, so you got this kind of little smaller zone here at that 40-20-ish level with the high weekly anchored VWAP from February 3rd. The tier 1 sheet supply and demand high, so you've got this, and we just kind of really took out trend guide reversal. It didn't really present a speed bump. And so you've got this little one here, really above that through 40-30. I don't think there's a whole lot but error. Yeah, you just get kind of this big candle. I mean, so there's not really a lot of volume and stuff, I think, through there from when I looked before. Yeah, so you take that out, and then there's just a ton of open space up to MPP, weekly trend guide, etc. It had actually included this to be a one bigger zone of MPP all the way up to, actually no, it included weekly trend guide up to annual pivot. I was thinking actually to treat it like this. Instead of treating monthly pivot and supply and demand low as one zone, and then just immediately having weekly trend guide, is just kind of treat this as one zone. But now I'm rethinking that there. And potentially saying, yeah, to go back and move it back to weekly trend guide, annual pivot. Potentially go back like this, but it's just those two seem closer to each other to me than this one up here. And you could treat it as one big zone, really. 40-43 up to 40-57, so a 14-point zone. Maybe that's the better way to do it, because really if you're just right here, why not just go grab that? And it's photo ADR right in that area too. Yeah, I think we're gonna go back and do that. And I don't even really trust this one here. I mean, it's there. It's got the swing AV VWAP from the second, but man, with the way this is pushing, Apple still has room. Google still has room. Microsoft has a lot of room to its trend guide. Netflix has got room. SMH has room. But you do have a bunch of others that are already at their R1 for the day with Tesla, Soxel, Nvidia. Meta's through it. It's big time. AMD and Amazon are up near theirs with a little bit of room. And then there's this weekly piece, but given that this is the very first week you even have it on the charts and be tracking or anything, like I'm not paying any attention to it. It's there. I'll keep an eye out. If I'm not in a meeting or a conversation and we get up to that spot, I'll call it out and mention it. But I'm not. I don't want to have confidence in something we haven't even tested yet and looked at, so it may or may not do anything. I don't know, but I haven't had time to forward or back test it yet. With the full ADR zone, you've got there with an NVPOC pretty much damn right on the supply and demand. You can see looking left there back in March, like we couldn't even get an hourly close above that supply and demand. Then it tried to hold here back in February and then just lost it. And again, came through, tested, and they just couldn't even hold. Yeah, and again, mine might be a little bit different than yours because, like I said, I went through and adjusted all of my ES supply and demands over the weekend. We decided to take that out, then we get up even higher. Now you're actually into the tier 3 daily cheat stuff. You're in weekly trend guide 2, gap fill. There's actually a gap fill right beneath there. That seems like it'd be a really massive extreme. Because we've already traded, what, call it 40 points. So that'd be 100, I guess it'd be 120, 140 points in the day. 130, something like that. I don't know. To me, that's ES on the downside, right? You know, we lose this trend guide reversal from this one's really starting to get some separation now. So if we lose that, then we get to what you're talking about for SPY. And yeah,
I don't think it's alarming that I actually came up with a short thesis instead of a bullish one today.
no, it actually worries me because one of the things I've noticed is like I'll try the short, I'll try the short, I'll try the short, and then when it's like fuck it, I'm done trying the short, I'll try to join in. That's when the trend flips.
I'm trying to fade myself lately.
Yeah. So yeah, like if we do lose this TGR from above, then trend strength probably won't matter too much, and be watching the lower edge of supply and demand with trend guide to me is kind of a meh. I'd really probably watch more of the weekly pivot, which now includes photo ADRs and last week's point of control in there. And then yeah, like you got really some of these zones you got to hold, otherwise we're done for it. And then you were pointing out is this a real-time hour chart?
Yes, sir.
Oh, somebody tagged me. Yep. Yeah, I think you can see that here though too, even on this one here. It's not really a wedge per se, but there is kind of a nice little channel there on that one. You dip below it a couple of times, but reclaim, like, and pretty convincingly reclaim here too on that channel there. And I think this is the one I was pointing out. It was more pronounced on NQ. That'd be really interesting. That'd be a really interesting.
That first ABCD leg right there, you could technically take it down a little further.
Yeah, take it down to this one over here. Except I can't because I locked those.
Oh. I wasn't gonna say that low, brother. I was gonna say the March 15 low.
Yeah.
That one.
That's probably a 23.6 retrace too there. It takes it up to monthly pivot. Yeah, I kind of like that.
Dora.
Oh
You know when
God.
she says, like they ask you at the end of the episode,
How can I mute
what
him?
was your favorite part of the episode today? And then you say, she gets quiet. You say something, and it's like, yeah, I like that too.
I am so thankful my kids did not watch Dora. They watched Diego for a little bit and like, this is boring. Can we watch something else?
Yeah, Diego was very boring. I couldn't get with Diego, but Dora was fun.
Yeah, we watched things like World War Z and War of the Worlds and good stuff like that. Big Zone WR1, yeah, absolutely. It's
I'm,
a big
I'm a Dora
zone.
fan.
Yeah, with annual pivot just right above there.
That's a really nice zone. And if you look also, you got that March 7th. It's a nice little liquidation type of thing. Action. You couldn't hold that. Boom.
So what's he going? He's going back to. Why is his off there? He's looking on a 1440. He's up at 4023. Okay, 4028. But I don't have that as WR1. Your weekly trend guide is up higher than your 4049, right?
He's talking about the minute swing for VWAP, but then the daily for VWAP is just slightly higher.
Yeah, the swing AVWAP stuff I'm good with. It's really the location of the weekly trend guide, WR1.
My WR1 is here now, 4015.
4015?
Yeah, let me see. I have to reload my stuff because I know I had some pivots that were wrong on, I think it was CLD yesterday. Let me reload my stuff. As soon as I reloaded it, fixed everything.
So where is it at? Is it up higher?
Where is yours?
Up by monthly
Oh,
pivot.
yours is all the way with the monthly.
Pivot cache, ESF. I don't think that's incorrect, but I can do this. Recalculate it real quick.
Zoom screen, his WR1 is right here. With 4015. Look at his oil camera. So WR1 is right here. So yours is with the MPP.
Yep. Yeah, it's something didn't save correctly. It looks like in the cache stuff, so I wiped the cache and redid it. So.
There you go. Look at that. Now we're matching.
Yep. I'm gonna have to take a look at that. I'm probably too aggressive in the cash there.
Oh, that's the new thing that you were talking about?
Yeah.
That clears the cache? Okay.
Yeah, if there's a issue, that's part of why I haven't given you guys a new build yet, because I've been testing this pivot cache so that it's trying to figure out when's the right time to load the bars. And so it's probably still on last week's values would be my guess. But in any event, so yeah, nice little bigger zone there. This is still a good zone here though too. It's pretty cool that even with that one little snafu, the stuff's in a good spot. Since we already noticed that, I'm going to go ahead and remove my NQ because it's probably the same way. RTY, YM, CL, GC. Alright. So still think that's kind of a nice nice setup on the zones and stuff there. This, because of where everything's lining up, continues to move up. If we keep talking, it'll probably still keep moving.
Yep.
But we don't need to keep talking. Right. And yes, that is a fairly big size zone right there with weekly trend guide, daily cheats, and swing AV watt right there. I don't like the way that any of that is looking because it's all incorrect because my pivots were off. APP, what?
I'm looking at Amazon. Amazon is very nice yesterday.
Okay, and since my NQ is clearly going to be messed up, I'm sure, because the pivots were also probably wrong for it, I'm going to rerun the algo on it and have to adjust a whole bunch of stuff. Well, I guess that would explain why things looked unclean.
Yeah, it didn't self-adapt. Just pulling up with last week's pivots. Went this weekend over to the nursery, man. I bought a bunch of plants, dude. My house looks really nice with plants.
I'm glad you continued to clarify that, because you're like, wow, you went to the nursery. I didn't even know that you guys were having kids there.
Oh no, plants.
Oh yeah. No, that kind of plant, that kind of nursery.
What other nursery are you thinking about?
The nursery where you put the babies, you know, like.
No, you don't even have access to that. It's not like you can go there and buy a baby.
No, but you go and you set up the nursery.
That's true. That's true. But that you set up at your own house. I gotta put on some YouTube. Do you have any cool YouTube channels on how to take care of plants?
You really need me to Google that for you?
No,
No.
I'm asking for recommendations on the YouTube channels.
No.
You got some good YouTube channels you follow.
I don't have any ones that I follow for plants. Sorry.
Oh, man, that sucks, man.
Okay, so you got a big zone here. This X part didn't change there. So the monthly trend guide reversal, annual pivot, trend strength, like all kind of a really big fat zone there. Also has the range that we've been in for the last little while, and last week's point of control stuff in there. So there's just a bunch of evidence right in that area, along with swing AVWAP from yesterday's lows coming up to join that at the bottom edge there. We don't need this anymore because that was marking the falling channel there from April, March high type of things. Will be interesting to watch and see how that continues to work for the day. Really, we take out this upper area. That's a lot of space, right, until you get to that other spot. Yeah. I don't know how much weight I actually want to put here at this photo ADR level and tier 2 daily cheat, because it looks like it's just all by itself. And I'd marked that up myself earlier. I think it's there. You can watch it. It's a div, but I just don't know how much weight I want to put on that. And I was wanting to look left before people started yelling outside my damn door. This should be a big spot here, though. This supply and demand zone. Actually, looking left here, I do think this is actually would be a good one to keep an eye on. Yeah. That was February 1st, 2nd, yeah. Which could set up, like if we do push all the way, like that could set up where it's a nice little div right into that full ADR, you know.
And we also have, for last year, September 13th was also a really massive liquidation day.
Yep.
But that picks it up to the next zone at 986. So it's like between that weekly TPR world.
Actually, this September high here. That's right at
Sorry.
12,987. It's right at the full.
Oh, okay.
Now, if you come back here though, right, then that one, oh shit, that's even
Way
higher.
up there. Yeah. I was talking about the September one right there, so that one.
Yeah.
It's just slightly above the February one. So
What is interesting here is kind of the wicks that we're seeing through here down to there. Yeah, this is what kind of made me start looking at and tweaking my ES supply and demand zones. I may try to do the same here on this one, just because like this is a ton of wicks through here, and even back through here. We may do that instead of doing that other stuff this weekend. Anywho, let's mark this up. I just want to double check the monthly anchored VWAP on this guy. It's 13,000, which is right up damn near here too. Alright, we're going to mark that there for NQ. And obviously we expanded that other zone quite a bit there, but hopefully the fact that you can see there's clearly structure back through there. That monthly anchored VWAP is right there from the highs. You get ABCD completions, full ADRs. That's a pretty good and big zone there. Really surprising, massive trend strength zone there. I treat that probably as one zone. I guess you could treat it as two.
So you made that a red zone.
Yeah, because
I like what you did there.
the monthly anchored VWAP is right there.
Yeah, I like that.
So like that's pretty massive for the day. 'Cause you're up at the tier 3 cheat stuff, weekly full ADR. Like it's a really big zone.
Yeah, I agree. Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, RTY. I'm gonna give it a second for it to update, since I had again the wrong pivots earlier. Paste that over here in this channel for this room. Excuse me.
Is that a sneeze or a cough?
That was a sneeze this time.
God bless you, sir.
And we'll tell YM to run real quick too. I think. Okay. That one ran. Why did RTY not run when I just clicked on it? Alright, what's ES going to do? It's at the hitting a trend line. It's at the daily cheat, bottom edge of that zone. Swing anchored VWAP. Everything is up near its zone except for Apple and Microsoft. I have a feeling I'll be glad I closed my short calls against Microsoft. Alright, well I can't watch it, so I'm not going to put something on. Okay, I don't need this in here anymore. I can take it off. And this one. Okay, so we are coming into a swing AV WAP already on RTY from kind of the lower highs there against quarterly trend guide back in March, and then the March 5th up higher at weekly trend guide. So it'd probably give this a mediocre. It has tested a few times and rejected. Just give a little bit more weight to this swing AV WAP there at the actual highs. And it looks like it's actually off by 1 bar. There we go, fixed it. So a bit wider of a zone there, but I don't think that's bad on this one. This could set up the same kind of thing. Although yesterday I thought we were gonna set up to lose trend guide and really pull back. We didn't really have much of a pullback at all when we lost the trend guide stuff. That photo, that kind of div area is not bad. I don't think I would keep this div down here though. I think I would move it up. Ignore the 30 week a bit. And in fact, I think we'll get rid of that as a div and treat it as a zone. And so what do we trade? We traded 30 points, give or take already. So that's not terrible there. We're pretty close to losing the October monthly anchored VWAP if we stay down in this area. And let's see, the March 6th. Day VWAP 1793, so pretty damn close to it. It's going to be the same thing pretty much as this swing one there. But then you do have the look there. So that's why I've got this actually dragged up a little bit from the 20. In fact, you can even take it up just a touch higher, given that the daily anchored VWAP is up just a little bit higher there, 1836. So daily anchored VWAP is all the way up here actually. If we decide to keep going, I guess you could mark that as a zone if we decide to keep pushing. And then if we lose all that, you got a nice trend strength zone with weekly pivot, some point of control stuff, supply and demand, swing AV from yesterday's lows. And then you lose that, you get the smaller kind of trend guide reversal, supply and demand. And then you lose that, really, then probably it's going to be game over, but we'll have to see. With full ADR is much, much lower. 30 plus points lower, it looks like. But it is in a buy side SE at the moment, so definitely have to make sure you keep that in mind. And I think if I saw it earlier today, I still had it loaded on my screen from yesterday. FRC, which is one of those regional banks, was getting a little bit of a pop. It was down like $11 or something like that towards the close. I think it was up maybe 14 or 15 earlier when I looked. Again, this we kind of turned into a full zone to include monthly trend guide. Okay, well I type this stuff out in the other one. Let's load up YM. Actually, I'm going to skip YM. It has some nice zones in there, but I want to get to GC and CL. CL is definitely into one of its buy-side zones, unlike GC, which is in a sell side. Alright, so let's see, how off are these guys? That should be fine. Yeah, I need to rerun this here as well. That really stinks that it didn't clear the cache like it was supposed to. It didn't. The one where I beat myself up.
Yeah.
Saying, why didn't you check to make sure the pivots were right?
You're only one person, BK. Only so much that you can do, man. You could do everything if you wanted to.
I need more time. It's always a resource problem.
What even is time? But yeah, I need to. If I could call myself, that'd be awesome. Yeah, the weekly good point area on CL is really nice.
Yep. Yeah, especially now that it's the right one.
Really like it. 69.69.
It's kind of a really, I mean, this is definitely a wide zone here, but it's a really important one. Like this is a low volume area, this kind of whole block here on the volume profile stuff, and you can see like we're trying to reclaim the April 24th, 2020 weekly anchored VWAP. We've got a lower high back from last week. Swing a VWAP. We're coming into should actually opening here soon. I think that's what we're open soon here on CL. I'm going to take this up to actually include the candles and stuff overnight there. Trend strength reference point. Swing a VWAP. Don't really care about capturing the photo ADR piece, especially if we keep moving. So we'd probably take this and have it as a smaller zone, but actually grab that bit of structure there. You could capture the candles back from the 15th, get that kind of wick there, and those ones, if we even go down that spot. Above, you got gap fill, full ADR, supply and demand, tier 1, end of week cheat there. Take that.
That's how come you have the monthly trend guide, TGR? Why is that zone so wide for you?
This one here.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you gonna put with just have monthly trend guide all by itself? You could do it.
I probably wouldn't even care about it.
You could go just like this, but it did show some. You know, you could treat it just like this, but it did show some resistance back through here. Try to act as support and then just cut right through it. And so it'd be the lower edge of a zone you'd want to watch. Alternatively, I guess what you could do is you could look at it like this.
If you put a
Gap fill like that.
yeah, put a little secondary anchor view up where on the what is this? What time was this? Like 3:45 a.m. Eastern. Yeah, right there. That was, you could say that.
Yeah.
Like a little secondary anchor view up.
Yep.
Pretty much what just happened. But I don't know if I really care about that. That's like a super inside zone for me. I don't know, kind of confusing though.
Yeah, CL's not. Was certainly not the cleanest today.
Yeah. Side, I do like the upside zone though. Upside, nice, quickly pivot point with that nice structure from March 17. You know, this period, QS1, TGR, nice as well.
I don't know about this one here. Yeah, weekly pivot, the structure there. I mean, that's a nice zone there. This 78 had been kind of a nice area in the past. You can see that's right where we'd reclaim much higher time frame daily anchor VWAP too, as we get up to that 7008 level. But again, then ties back to that candle there. We're trying to reject the quarterly trend guide though.
Yep.
I don't really care about the photo ADR here today. It's got some other point of control stuff that I've been starting to keep an eye on and track, but it's, other than it being last week's point of control, it's not really much else there at that 7063 level in my mind and eyes there. And you can argue, I guess, probably have this 10-day EMA there. So it could get a rejection there, don't know, but I think if you clear this and you clear the weekly pivot, this kind of block here, then would want to watch for this gap fill, full ADR, supply and demand. Anywho, I think that's pretty reasonable looking there.
Yes, indeed.
I'm not going to bother with that. That's $3 above full ADRs. That's $2. That's starting to push it, but it's still feasible. Probably should have dragged that down a little bit lower, but I think that's all right. Okay, golds. And then gonna wrap it. Not exactly a 50% retrace, but it's pretty damn close to it there. And so then the question actually would be is potentially look at it like this. Okay, how many boxes do I have in here?
That looks good.
And what was this guy here? Structure, average ADR tier, and horizontal rate, 1932.50.
It's so cool how you can just click it and it tells you what it is. Sometimes I forget what was in my zones.
Well, yeah, that's the whole point of producing the zones automatically, is to put the stuff there and capture the things you may not recognize or see. I guess you could probably actually put a gap swing AV or daily anchor VWAP here, because we gapped on this one. Yeah. So that puts a gap there at 1937, which is actually right in this area here towards the bottom edge. So I just don't know how much I care about this structure that it's picked up through here in this horizontal ray. I don't know how important it is. So that was the failure point last time. She had that big down candle and then hit it again the next day. But I don't think you want to drag the zone down that far. And I don't think I want to drag this one up, so I guess maybe you do leave this here. Or maybe this top of this box doesn't need to be so high. Maybe it can come down here. kind of catch all those candles. And then if we blow through all that stuff, then you start getting into your end of week cheat. You get a swing anchored VWAP from the 9th. Tier 3 daily cheat, end of week, like I said, gap fill. Yeah. But at the moment, we're trying to push from the trend guide zone, photo ADR, tier 1 daily cheat, and structure at 1962. So all those lower zones may all be moot in the first place. I'm going to get rid of that zone because it's no longer photo ADR. I don't care about this div. I don't know what the hell I just deleted. Hopefully it wasn't bad.
No, it was the box. I think you just have multiple of them.
Yeah, because I went through and looked at all this stuff this morning, so that's probably what it is.
Yeah.
Right beneath trend guide, we got Supply and Demand 2005. I don't think I care about this here. I think what I would do is, given that full ADRs has moved down actually, treat it like that. And then if we break through there, then I wouldn't watch for anything unless you catch the, try to grab a long here, but again, you're already up $6 from that low. That's too big of a zone, so you'd watch that. That'd be another $20. So I'd be back into some extreme ADRs at 60 if we keep pushing. And all-time highs was where 2076, so it's way up higher. So there's not any really stuff here. You're just into open space. Yeah, I think treat GC like that.
I like it.
Oops, one piece though.
Good call.
We are pushing higher on the 50-day from last time, but nowhere close to the March of 22 highs on the sell side SE there for that one. So this could be potentially set up to be a trap and really keep going.
There's some really nice zones up there. Monthly trend guide 2, the weekly trend guide reversal. I mean, they're beautiful.
This one here is pretty nice actually. But you've been able to catch that, I mean, for 60 some ticks or whatever. $6.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, I'm going to take that and call it. And save our chart file. Have you tried to load by chance? I don't know if
Try to
anybody,
load what?
the CML that I share. I don't know if anybody has.
No, I have not. I have not. So I'm afraid it's gonna delete my zones.
Yep, nope, all good. I'm just curious.
Would it? Or no?
It shouldn't delete your zones,
Try it right now.
but there's a couple things. I have different supply and demands for ES now, and the other one should just show up because you're gonna open it up as I would open it just like a brand new window. I'm gonna upload today's here real quick. Give me a second. You can take today's.
Loading up here, but so far it looks great.
Cool. I don't think it's automatically transferring them yet. I have to figure out some way to do that.
The same thing. So like the anchored VWAPs on your charts, they're all off. I mean, of course, like when you transfer them to somebody else, it's gonna be off. So there's that. That's the only thing I see. But all the zones are here. They all look the same.
Nice.
Yeah, all look great. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of do feel like I'm looking at like you know when you get a person's phone and they have like the blown up text, it looks huge. That's what I'm looking at. Like, how do I make this smaller? It's so big.
Because the candles.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's something about when you're sharing the CML. It's like it. And I noticed this across the board. It doesn't matter whose CML export it is. It blows up the candle size. There's some things that Ninja like just doesn't properly support. Maybe they've improved this in their newer version. I still need to download and try, but yeah.
It really looks good. Yeah, it's coming out good, bro.
Cool.
It really is. These horizontal rays, the yellow orange ones. Did you draw them manually or what?
Yes, right now I have not built up stuff to go find the point of control and other things, so I used labeled lines, and then just
like range, high volume node.
Yep.
3 year, 10-day. What is that? Last week.
Yeah, so 10-day point of control, last week point of control.
Oh, okay.
So again, if you click them, you'll see the full detail. I'm abbreviating what gets displayed in the text. So 10-day is 10-day point of control. Actually, I need to change that so it says NQ, so it doesn't have problems with duplicate tag names. But yeah, I was kind of looking at some of the volume profile stuff and trying to pick up on things like, hey, this has been the range, high volume node, or this is low volume area versus the high volume area, which was interesting with YM. We didn't obviously look at on charts, but yesterday's lows was the 3-year low volume node, not area, low volume node. Like there's hardly any volume. And so we've now tapped it twice in the last week and again yesterday. On YM, we tapped that one. So interesting piece. Got to just keep it in mind with everything else going on. So, anywho,
Yeah.
I see our buddy Tim didn't want to hear us. He deafened himself.
Yeah.
Guess he just want to hear everybody sing happy birthday to him. See, this is why I never tell anybody, Because then everybody makes a big deal out of it, and you're like, just leave me the hell alone.
We're gonna have a special day for you.
Yeah, do that. Do that hopefully in another 40 years.
In another 40 years.
You can spread my
Change your mind
ashes.
by then.
You can spread my ashes in 40 years, hopefully. Not you, but
You'll still be alive and kicking, bro.
I hope so.
Yes, you will. Alright, my man. This
Thanks.
was great. Appreciate it. I'm gonna keep an eye on this stuff. I like the prep zones. They are coming out really well. Just for whatever reason, it really is weird that this is so big.
It's just the candles, right?
The dotties too, they're huge. But maybe it's just how much you take a screenshot and send it to you.
Okay, sounds good. I am going to be out, by the way, in a couple weeks. I have to make first week of April. I have to make a work trip, so I'm not going to go into details. We're here since we're recorded, but yeah. Cool.
All right, my man.
Thank
have a
you.
wonderful day. Wish you a very profitable, fruitful day.
Sounds good. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
You have a great one. Take care.
See ya. Bye now. All right, folks, and that is it. Music is done. We, as we mentioned, we have some work activities we have to go and make a trip for. So we'll be gone that first week of April. We'll plan to still do the prep Sunday night for Monday, but we'll not be on doing anything in the morning that week at all. Looks like we'll probably be gone most of that week. So hopefully everybody has a great one. It's been a great start to the week, and we will catch you all tomorrow. Thanks.